This vlog story will be all about my story when I came over to Auschwitz 2 years ago. I've dreamed of it 15 years ago of going to this place. So when I finally moved into London and got the opportunity to go to Krakow, Poland, I never missed the chance to go there and experience what it is to be like in Auschwitz camp. So what drive me to feature this one if it happened like 2 years ago? I've got loads of videos. I took footages as well. This experience of mine can be of an inspiration, an eye-opener as well to a lot of people who doesn't really know what happened in Auschwitz. Not a lot of people will have the opportunity, as I have, to experience it like in real. I went to the camp, journeyed through the whole process of how it is to be a prisoner in Auschwitz camp. Everyone knows about what happened in the Holocaust during the Nazi time, when a lot of Jewish people were exterminated. They were gassed, they were put into the gas chambers. Millions of them lost their lives just because they are Jews. And a lot of people will never forget what happened. All over the world, Auschwitz has become a symbol of terror, genocide, and the Holocaust. It was established by Germans in 1940 in the suburbs of Oświęcim, a Polish city that was annexed to the Third Reich by the Nazi. The direct reason for the establishment of the camp was the fact that mass arrests of Poles were increasing beyond the capacity of existing local prisons. The Germans isolated all the camps and sub-camps from the outside world and surrounded them with barbed wire fencing. All contact with the outside world was forbidden. Auschwitz I was first constructed to hold Polish political prisoners who began to arrive in May 1940. From early 1942 until late 1944, transport trains delivered Jews to the camp's gas chambers from all over German-occupied Europe, where they were killed with the pesticide Zyklon B. At least 1.1 million prisoners died at Auschwitz, around 90% of them Jewish. Approximately 1 in 6 Jews killed in the Holocaust died at the camp. It was very unbelievable, very sad and unfortunate just to even think about it. What happened in Auschwitz will never be forgotten in human history. The final solution estimated the number killed to be 800,000 to 900,000. The destruction of the European Jews estimated the number killed to be a maximum of 1 million Jewish victims. Children were subjected to live medical experimentation. Sanitary arrangements were poor, with inadequate latrines and a lack of fresh water. In the camp, latrines were not installed until 1943, 2 years after the camp construction began. The camps were infested with vermin, such as disease-carrying lice, and inmates suffered and died in epidemics. Block 11 of Auschwitz I was the prison within the prison, where violators of the numerous rules were punished. Some prisoners were made to spend the nights in standing cells. Many were subjected to hanging with their hands behind their backs for hours, even days, thus dislocating their shoulder joints. My trip to Auschwitz that time is very timely because even before I went to the camp, to Auschwitz, I got the opportunity to meet someone who survived the camp. He survived 9 labor camps before he went finally to Auschwitz. He lost his father, he lost his mom, and he lost his sister as well. And he doesn't know where his sister is now, that he didn't even have any idea what happened to his sister. All he knows is that what he wants during that time is to really survive and to tell the story. His name's Henry. He's already 98 years old by this time. He lives here in London. And when I heard about his story, I was just sitting down, listening really carefully about what really happened, and imagined myself to be on his shoes during that time. I couldn't even imagine, and I couldn't even fathom how he survived the whole process. Nothing is so certain during those times. This time you're still alive, and the next day you're dead already. So that's how the reality was during the time of the Holocaust. Beginning around the middle of May 1944, freight trains that were 40 to 50 cars long rolled through this gate. They call it the Gate of Death. Day and night, bringing thousands of Hungarian Jews to be gassed at the 4 Birkenau gas chambers. The prisoners called it the Gate of Death. According to the Auschwitz Museum, 434,351 of these Hungarian Jews were not registered at Birkenau. Instead, they were gassed immediately upon arrival. At the height of the deportation of the Hungarian Jews, during a 10-week period, up to 12,000 Jews were gassed and burned each day. The Birkenau camp, which held over 90,000 prisoners in 1944, is also known as Auschwitz II, was the largest part of the Auschwitz complex. The Nazis began building it in 1941 on the site of the village of Brzezinka, 3 kilometers from Oświęcim. The Polish civilian population was evicted and their houses confiscated and demolished. The greater part of the apparatus of mass extermination was built in Birkenau, and the majority of the victims were murdered here. Holocaust trains consisted of sets of either third-class passenger carriages, but mainly freight cars or cattle cars, or both. The latter packed with up to 140 deportees, although 50 was the number proposed by the SS regulations. No food or water was supplied. The Güterwagen boxcars were only fitted with a bucket latrine. A small barred window provided irregular ventilation, which oftentimes resulted in multiple deaths from either suffocation or the exposure to the elements. I never expected that seeing Birkenau camp would be this unique. Probably not only me, but when you see it, it makes you very emotional, considering the scale and magnitude of killings that happened during Hitler's time. If Anne Frank's book made you cry, The Boy in Striped Pajamas and Schindler's List left you shattered, wait until you see the actual locations where they happened. You will all feel this twice as much as you read the book or watched the film. Just very sad. Very, very sad. My experience in Auschwitz has brought me to tears, seeing how things have been in reality when you are really standing in the camp. Everything came to my senses and just suddenly hit me big time. The unfairness of life, the miseries of innocent people who were killed, gassed, and cruelly tortured. These people, millions of them, reflect the nature of humans. They can be extremely good and also bad as well. The hunger for power, fame, and pride might have brought all of this, but still we have to remember that all things are passing and should come to an end. Although it was a grim ending for these people, they have left a very significant impact to everyone that we should never forget the past. We have to remember what happened and we should learn from them.